Great news as the viewers of this channel get Mitch McConnell to put stimulus in the CR into the continuing resolution, which has a December 11th deadline. The president wants to do it as well. The president has not made up his mind whether he wants to put stimulus checks in here additionally, but it would extend UI and PUA. Mitch McConnell is not done on where he's going to draft the bill. The bill has not been drafted. He's looking for input. So you need to be on social media and tagging Mnuchin and Meadows and McConnell with his press secretary and his communications director saying put in stimulus checks into the CR. Take this video and share them and say, hey, put stimulus into the CR and include stimulus checks. Meantime, big progress across the board as more viewers get incredible grants. This is really exciting. No less than 12 viewers got big grants yesterday. Rent grants, utility grants, and got it in places in which viewers thought there were no more rent grants. Oh yeah, that as well. Escalated benefits, they got that. And they got EIDL. And meantime, who else got money yesterday? Well, if you look at Mitch's memo of what he wants to put in the CR, guess who he's proposed to get another round of stimulus? Yes, sirloin. Mitch is proposing sirloin and the cows get another round of stimulus in the next CR. I just don't know what Mitch and those cows have together. But it's a great morning. I'm glad you joined me, and this is a continuation of Early Mornings LALATE. Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Early Mornings LA with big, exciting news as more viewers continue to get big grants across the board. You know, we're going to deal with Mitch, and we're going to deal with Nancy, and we're going to deal with all these people sort of arguing over CR. But ultimately, what I want you to know is you can be getting thousands of dollars from this channel, and viewers continue to do so. One volunteer said that they had helped 60 people in just a few days. I had 2 volunteers in the community in the Purple Power Live last night. I had 12 viewers contact me in the last 24 hours. They got big grants and utilities and food and rent and EIDL and escalated benefits. And what's important to understand is I'm getting money right now, not 5 days from now, not 5 weeks from now, 5 months from now. Viewers continually say, thank you, you've changed our lives. Our holidays are going to be totally different because of you in this channel, and this is also a testament to the great work of the volunteers. So what's important to understand is that we're going to go over this, which Mitch wrote yesterday, but it's important to understand that this yet is not giving you any money. It's a draft, and we're not doing any more drafts. We're doing bank drafts. Get some money in the bank account, and that's what we're doing on this channel. So please subscribe, because no one's finding to get you money faster and quicker than this channel. Also, like this video, it really helps in the algorithm rankings. In this video, I'll be going over what happened yesterday, what happened with Mitch, and then I'll be getting more to what you need to do to get money right now with the powers of this channel: CARES Act 1 grants, escalated benefits, and EIDL. If you notice to the side, it's an instant premiere. Yes, this show always is an instant premiere if you're tuning in at 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It allows you to chat, interact with your friends, familiar faces, and if you have questions or comments, they're there to help you as well. So much developing today, so let's get to the breaking news. The breaking news is here today is that there's a lot of stuff that happened yesterday, and let me just give you a brief recap of it, and that ultimately I'm sure there's some people that are going to say the wrong things about what happened yesterday, so I want to make it very simple for you. The day started with no less than 3 bills being proposed by Republicans and Democrats as to what they want to do for standalone stimulus bills. All those will never see the light of day. I'm not even discussing them anymore. I just need to tell you they happened. So what did happen is exactly what the viewers of this channel and myself, starting on Sunday with a hashtag campaign of CR for Stimulus, had urged got. Mitch McConnell yesterday did the CR for Stimulus. he put stimulus in the CR in a memo proposal. It's a memo. It's not a bill. It's a proposal. He went and met with the president at the White House and discussed what the president wants. The president said he's going to get back to him today with more details. It was not finalized, even what they desired to have in it. So Mitch went back and he wrote up a memo, which I have in front of me, and sent it to colleagues in the Senate. Said, "What do you think? Give me your suggestions. Get back to me." There is no bill. There is no vote. There is no law. The timeline is the following. There has to be an approval of the Senate, House, and signed by the President by December 11th, or the federal government shuts down. There's no way to get around that deadline. It is not just sort of describing a situation. It is a situation. There's no, that's a hard, fast deadline. So, if they don't reach an agreement, the federal government shuts down. So what do they have to do to reach an agreement? Well, Mitch McConnell said yesterday that ultimately the president will determine if this is what he wants, and that he will guide me as to what he wants in this. There's also Pete Navarro, who says the president wants to end on a very nice stimulus package to help millions of Americans and understand that it's a good holiday, which news analysts understood that as the president wanting to end his term with a very good exit on a very nice economic stimulus relief. So you would presume it would have a stimulus check in it. Well, when Mitch released his memo, it was a hot mess express. Now, it does have some good stuff in it, but it also has stuff that absolutely has to be in there and is not in there. It has stuff in there that shouldn't be in there. And sort of you look at it and wonder, why is it in there? One of the things about why the hell is it in there is more money for sirloin and the cows. I just can't do this. Sirloin got some more money in the memo. It's a memo. It's not a bill, and it doesn't actually have the money yet. It's just a proposal. But it proposes to give money to the cows and money to Nemo. Yeah, the fish. I don't know what's going on here, but suddenly fish and cows are more important than you. What was not included, and absolutely has to be included, is a stimulus check, eviction moratorium, and mortgage forbearance. So in essence, Mitch wants you to be evicted, thrown on the street, and foreclosed upon, and not have a stimulus check, but protect the cows and the fish. I don't know. Viewers asked me to explain why Mitch is so adverse to stimulus check. Well, I also want to know why he's so adverse to an eviction moratorium. I mean, this is so crazy. Eviction moratorium, mortgage forbearance doesn't cost anything, and stimulus check doesn't cost a lot either, and you can pay for it by not paying for the fish or the cows. What's also really interesting is that Mitch not only heard you for CR for stimulus, but also heard about you from repurposing CARES Act 1 money. So the memo starts with saying that he wants to repurpose, and actually uses the word repurpose, check that one off, to repurpose CARES Act 1 money for this bill. Repurpose $140 billion of unspent CARES Act money for this bill. Now, it does not have a stimulus check in here, but it does do something very, very good. It extends UI, unemployment assistance, and extends PUA, pandemic unemployment assistance, for 1 month, which is 4 weeks, which you absolutely need because they're both expiring in late December. If they expire, your eligibility year is over. It means that you don't want to have your eligibility term, which may have started on March and goes to December, stop on December, because that means your claim will be closed. You don't want that. It also is it's just a nightmare. So it extends it for one month. It does not have FPUC in there. I don't think it could have FPUC in there because it's a very tight bill, and FPUC should go retroactive to July, and that would just be thousands and thousands of dollars. Needless to say, it still could afford it if it got rid of the fish and the cows. So that's what Mitch did. So what should you expect today? You should expect a lot of name calling, a lot of bickering, and a lot of confusion. You're expecting to hear something from Nancy, from Chuck. You're expected to hear Joe Biden say something else, because yesterday Joe Biden says, I want an emergency quick stimulus bill. I want something that's very, very short and tight and sweet, and get it done and get it out, and then we'll do a bigger bill in January, which is what this is. It's just, We don't need something for the cows and the fish. It's just, every time I say it, I can't believe I'm even recording something about cows and fish getting stimulus. It's just, And then there's PPP in here, which I think I had said this yesterday, that I just sort of hope that Mitch does not give $1 trillion, $1,000 billion to PPP. And yeah, he did again. He just overfunds PPP every single time. He wants to give people PPP up to $2 million. Now, let me tell you why that's so crazy. PPP, if you are a business owner and you're listed as also an employee, you can use that PPP to write yourself a check in some cases. And that's why suddenly businesses are getting $2 million in PPP and millions of Americans who need a stimulus check are getting zero. The priorities are a little bit wrong. There should be some PPP, but there should be about 50 billion, 100 billion. It just should not be $2 million PPP lending institutions. And then why is it in boldface at the bottom of the page that we're also going to do something for the theaters? Lord, another Broadway thing? I mean, the Broadway already got a bill. Now are they getting something else? So there you go. Now let me focus on you. I'm getting viewers money, CARES Act 1 money, escalated benefits, and EIDL and record sums, and I want you to get this money. And what I want to start with today's video, which is totally new, is that cities, counties, and states are delivering money for rent and utilities, but generally for rent, in places that viewers did not know. And ultimately, it's there. I want to show you examples. For example, in New York, I had a viewer yesterday who was having real problems finding rent grants. I've had a problem finding rent grants in New York for viewers. A viewer jumped into Purple Power Live last night and said, I got a rent grant from this department in New York for housing. It was a separate housing department. That's how you have to sort of think out of the box. Clearly, this viewer made a lot of phone calls and finally found the right housing state department. This is an example of what Purple Power is. That if you call up and you're looking for the State Housing Authority and you call them up and they say, we have nothing here, don't stop there, because the money may be in another housing department. And ultimately, it's the amount of effort you want to put in that's going to determine how much money you got. That viewer found it. Then in Mississippi, here's another example. A viewer in Mississippi said last night in Purple Power Live that this one private charity is doing rent grants in Mississippi in record sums. That's sort of like what happens in Houston. In Houston, one religious charity was paying the rental grants for a lot of viewers, but that rental grant is now closed. But on the other hand, the city of Houston announced a big stimulus plan for its citizens yesterday. That follows New Mexico that announced one as well. So everything changes very quickly. Ultimately, the Purple Power volunteers are very good in not only finding you the rent and utility grants. If you can't find them, please put the effort in first. But what they can do is also listen in on what they hear on Purple Power Live and take notes. And they'll hear this one group mentioned in Kentucky. That's a private group that's paying rent grants, and take note of it. And remember, oh, I heard that thing with that Kentucky person. Ultimately, this is why you should watch all the videos on this channel. Because if you really do want the rent grants, don't sit back and just watch one video and say, oh, just go do it for me. No, I mean, these things just sort of pop up. And so you really have to tune into all the videos because something major may hit out of nowhere. Next, escalated benefits. So easy to get. Get that 2019 tax return. Send it to your state unemployment department. Someone last night said, is there a volunteer that can help me with escalated benefits? No, because this is generally a simple process. All you're doing is just sending your unemployment department your 2019 tax return if you made over $18,000 2019. If you didn't, I don't think it's going to work. And then they'll raise your benefits retroactively. And here's something I need to make clear, because this is a great question last night. Can you do this if you're now employed? Yes. The viewer was asking, I was unemployed before. I got some weeks of benefits. They weren't the amount they're supposed to be, and now I'm employed. What can I do? Yes. So you basically say, I was unemployed for those months, and during those months you paid me this amount of money per week. But please look at my 2019 tax return. I think I may be eligible for additional weekly benefits for those weeks, and please get back to me. Thank you. Done. And they'll do it. So it's the point is that you had a file for those weeks. Those are the weeks they're fixing. They're not doing anything for right now when you're employed. Absolutely not. Finally, EIDL, so simple and so carefree. Did I just say that? Sounds like a breath mint. So simple, carefree. This EIDL. Please check your Experian Advantage 3.0 score before you apply. Very simple. 570 or higher. If it's not, do an Experian.com/boost. Raises your score about 25 points. Other than that, call up Experian and ask to remove adverse entries. When they do that, you want to make sure you're over 570, and if you do, you'll get approved. The only two situations that are happening for non-approvals are bad credit because you're under 570, or because you typed in a number wrong on your social security number or your bank account, and then they'll give you an unable to verify business identity. Finally, if you're processing, you got an offer and you accepted, and it still shows processing, call SBA, ask for tier 2. As always, big developments across the board. Today's going to be a lot of developments. I need you to take these videos and go on social media. The purple power push needs to be very loud and clear. McConnell's press secretary and communications director, just swarm them with tweets. Stimulus check in the CR. Stimulus check in the CR. They will see it. You need to get this very loud and clear, because ultimately, I mean, this is what millions of Americans want. And every time there's a CR article, an article about the CR, they say, and then there's no stimulus check. That has to stop. They just need to get it in there, and if they want to leave stuff Nemo and Sirloin, then they'll give me some more jokes for some more introductions, and I'll have to do Nemo jokes next as well. Join me at 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for more Mornings LALATE. Thank you for joining me for the live edition yesterday. That was a lot of fun. And join me for Holidays LALATE at 12 noon, which the last 2 days have been live, and there's been about 1,000 people in the room. So that's been, maybe I'll do it live again today as well. As always, stay informed, stay smiling, and stay in that life for more.